Now we're going to spend some time picking apart this week's biggest stories. They're all right here in The Loop Week in Review. All right, my guest tonight from Wired Magazine, he's an editor. Mark McCluskey is here from entertainment columnist from Maxim Magazine. Julia Allison joins us, and Variety TV editor Michael Schneider.
Bring it up the rear.
Yeah, it's all right. You're good at it, buddy.
I don't know what that means.
You're the best. You're the best we got. All right, let's get going here. A big week on Monday with a virtual drum roll, if you will. YouTube announced the winners of its popularity contest with the YouTube Video Awards. Michael, let's start it off then. Are we seeing the first steps towards user-generated content finally being recognized?
Well, you know what I always say? We need more award shows. There just aren't enough. I'm hoping for the YouTube Hip Hop Awards, the YouTube Country Awards, and the People's Choice.
Presented by Vagisil. No, I mean, what do you think, though? I mean, this is a virtual awards ceremony. Isn't this cool?
Well, someone's got to do it, and you know, YouTube's not the only one. MySpace is trying to do it, and actually the Emmys are trying to do it as well. So, you know, we'll see who actually manages to pull off the legitimate one. You know, whether or not YouTube actually is the first to do the real, you know, user-generated one, we'll see. I don't know.
All right, well, Mark, how could this affect the community when you've got an official YouTube-sanctioned event that's recognizing certain users and saying, hey, you guys are better than the rest of the community, at least for this particular video? Do you see that becoming an issue?
I don't know that it's going to be a huge issue for the community. I mean, frankly, I'm just hurt that the video of my daughter didn't get much play in those awards. You know, come on, people! What? She's pretty cute.
Was she counting? Was she chasing a kitten around with a laser pointer?
She was getting bonked in the face by a friend. You know, it's nothing like baby hijinks.
Okay, well, we'll show it here on Around the Net. I want to move on to Julia here. A new topic, though. On Tuesday, actor Eddie Griffin was promoting his new movie.
I wanted
Redline.
to say something about the YouTube video.
Well, let's hear it, Julia. Let's hear it.
And how absolutely, I think they were brutally unfunny, and I think that just goes to show that the wisdom of crowds isn't that great when SNL is still doing a better job.
Well, is it the wisdom of crowds or the talent of the YouTube community?
No, because I think that there are good YouTube videos out there, but these were voted on by the YouTube users, and they were really not that hysterical.
You don't think the good videos were all pulled off by Viacom when they threatened to sue?
Well, that's what I was
maybe that's it. You know, maybe that's it. You know, they paid $1.65 billion, and all they got were the crappy videos.
Right. No,
but,
come on.
You know,
the reason why we all
like
go on YouTube is to still watch the stuff that's illegally stuck up there. So as long as that stuff's not even eligible for these awards, then kind of what's the point?
All right. Well, we talk about YouTube spending billions, rather, but let's talk about the millions that actor Eddie Griffin caused. Promoting his new movie Redline, he crashed a $1.5 million Ferrari. And Julia, the first thing that we thought around here was, this is the greatest thing that could have ever happened to these guys in terms of promotion for the film. I mean, is that too cynical, or do you think that this could be a marketing stunt?
No, I think, you know, if you read actually the articles about him, he talks about it. He says, oh, it's not a hoax, it's not a hoax, it's not a hoax.
Right.
Listen, the bad driver doth protest too much. I think he totally did that as a PR stunt.
Honestly, he still hasn't apologized for 5 seasons of Malcolm and Eddie, so until he does that, I can't forgive him for this either.
He didn't really even apologize for the car crash, actually. He just said, I'm glad I'm alive. The car's whatever. You can make another one.
Look, if he did this as a stunt, there's a bunch of car geeks in my office who are going to go down to LA and murder the guy. I mean, this is an Enzo. If you crash an Enzo as a stunt, that's just frustrating. I just feel bad. I feel bad for the car, not, you know.
But if he had crashed a Camaro, I mean, like, who would care, right? Like,
sure.
It would be just
I think the world would care, and it would have gotten just as much coverage because it's Eddie Griffin, people.
But hey,
Let's not forget.
I can't wait to see this movie now. Actually, I have no idea what the movie is. Apparently, there's a car in it. So maybe...
You've seen the movie. It's on YouTube. It's an accident into a barrier. No, I'm still going to see Redline. Let's move it on to good old Microsoft, because after weeks of speculation, Microsoft finally confirmed the details of its Xbox Elite console. Mark, I mean, let's do a little one-on-one here, Mark, because I know you're into the gaming. What's the real benefit to the Elite? And our gamers, are they going to be picking this one up? Are you waiting in line out in front of Fry's?
No, I am not waiting in line. You know, it's a nice upgrade. You know, HDMI for a better connection to your HD TV. That's awesome. Thanks, Microsoft. You know, bigger hard drives so I can download more stuff and, you know, spend more points on Microsoft Live. That's great, too. I'm into it. But are you buying it? I got a 360. You know, there's nothing that makes me run screaming out to buy it. I wish mine had an HDMI port and a bigger hard drive.
All right, so I guess the other question then for you, sir, is you have a 360. For someone who doesn't, are these the features that they needed to go out and make the plunge? Were they really sitting there saying, I can't get a 360 now, I got to have HDMI?
I gotta say, only like the super AV geeks, and yes, I'm one of the super AV geeks,
Sure.
who are sitting around like, man, I wish there was HDMI on there. But if you don't have a 360 yet, it's probably worth it. It's the price of the upgrade seems about right, and if I were buying one, that's what I'd buy.
All right, that's enough nerding out on the Elite. Let's get back to the other goods. Wednesday in the feed that we reported on a story of a blogger using the name Antichrist. He was apparently banned by a New York Times-owned blogging site. This user and the community, they were sort of outraged because they felt that his First Amendment rights were being violated. Julia, I bet you have something to say. I mean, does this guy really have any free speech rights on someone else's server with someone else's software?
Well, I think he's a 72-year-old gay millionaire. And if you're already a gay millionaire blogger at the age of 72, you should be allowed to call yourself whatever you want.
And by the way, he should have been nominated for a YouTube Video Award. That's all I have to say.
I didn't know he was posting videos of this. Mark, what do you think? I mean, are we going to see more of these technological battles over free speech? And just because it's my server, I can tell you what your username can and can't be?
Yeah, you're going to see this, but I can't get too worked up about this, frankly. It's a small-town newspaper in North Carolina that the New York Times company owns. The guy's posting on the forums.
Right.
If he wasn't a 72-year-old gay millionaire who's related to the guy who founded Merrill Lynch, would we even be hearing about this? Probably not.
Yeah,
I do think, by the way, it was tacky that they've banned everyone with the name Jesus, just to be careful.
Yeah.
That went too far.
Yeah, and Bong Hits for Jesus, apparently, is not an acceptable name. I tried to sign up 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Julia, final word. Should we ban Michael from the loop for thinking he's God?
I would go for it, and I just like to say this. As far as that Xbox is concerned, if they made it in pink, I would seriously consider buying it.
Oh,
okay. By the way, Kevin, that screen name Jackass, the screen name Jackass is still available.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Thanks to our guests, Mark, Julia, and Michael, for joining us in the Week in Review. You're not banned. You're one of my favorites, Michael. I love you.
Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7, only on G4.